It is Thursday morning. It is 9 a.m., and that is when the fun begins. This is Our Town here on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. My name is Darren Swenson. Our Town, as always, brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust. A little later on in the program, we'll talk with Mike Meirick from the Spectrum Network. They will have a big open house tomorrow from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. We'll talk about that event. A PTSD awareness walk is going to be taking place in Walk on Saturday morning. And Heather Homewood from the Allamakee County Veterans Affairs Office, she will be joining us for that event. Breakfast on the Farm, a big part of June Dairy Month at the Iowa Dairy Center. We'll be joined by Dave Lawstuen here in the not-too-distant future. But first things first, that's Friday night, kind of a neat thing going on at the Decorah walk-on baseball game. Decorah is going to pay homage to North Winn and the old baseball program at North Winn and the former school district, which has since merged into the Decorah Community School District. The North Winn jerseys will be worn by the Decorah baseball team as they host walk-on Friday night. And that will be talked about with Decorah High School baseball coach Adam Riley. He will be our first guest this morning. You are listening to Our Town. It's brought to you by Decorah Bank and Trust, and you're listening to it on 94.9 and 99.1 The River. Having a conversation here with Decorah High School baseball coach Adam Riley, and coming up tomorrow night, kind of a cool event that's going to be taking place at Olin Zach Field, where the Vikings are going to give up for one night the red and blue for the black and gold, paying tribute to North Winneshiek. Coach Riley, how'd this idea come to be?
Well, it kind of fell into place a little bit. Obviously, we've got a few people, as Decorah baseball has for a period of time, that have some really strong family connections as it relates to North Winn. And we'd had some different discussions about some uniforms and some other piece, and it just kind of came about on a Saturday morning BP session. And a couple of those players wore their old North Winn hats that they'd had when they had played up on the North Winn field as youth, as many of the kids in our community can remember at any given point in time. And we talked a little bit, and it's like, why don't we have a North Winn night? Why don't we have a North Winn uniform and try to take some steps to be able to honor those within our community, and the experience that they had. Obviously, putting on a uniform for your school takes special meaning, and when those kids take a little bit of pride in it, we hope to honor that a little bit, and have some fun and get some people out to the ballpark, and hopefully they can share a little bit of their own experience. And maybe feel a little of our experience in the past just by seeing the guys wear the uniform.
And for folks that attended North Winn schools, I believe if they come out to the game coming up tomorrow night, free admission to those folks, correct?
Yep, that's correct. Yep, if they just let our ticket takers know as they come along, we'll welcome them with open arms when it comes time to be able to enjoy some of that experience and maybe feel and have a little blast from the past for themselves as well.
And I know baseball maybe kind of tends to lean itself to this a little bit more than some other sports, but how important is it to celebrate how this baseball program and how really this school district kind of is in its present tense as compared to just being so myopically focused on the present?
Yeah, I think it's important. And at the end of the day, it's the people that are going to connect when it comes time for that. And, for years, I think it doesn't matter what school district you're at in the state, when some consolidations and mergers happen at any given point in time, it certainly stirs a lot of emotions, rightfully so, on that direction. And I think sometimes in different moments, we get some things right, and then sometimes we probably don't get things and do things as well with that. I'm not from Decorah, but I can know from my own experiences and in the community that I grew up in, New Hampton, that there's still some of those same different pieces and emotions. And at the end of the day, we're all lined up to be able to work together and still work with the same kids as we do our best to give give those kids the same great educational experience that they would have had, whether it was in Decorah, whether it was in North Winn or any other schools within, no matter what age you are, whether you'd went to local school or any piece with that. If people have a good educational experience, they're going to have some sort of connection, and anything we can do to continue to honor that it is a good deal. And and to that point, obviously, Fisher Tweeten and his dad Jason Tweeten had played and had done a lot to be able to organize some opportunities for baseball at North Winn in those given days, and if we can provide some of those special moments so he can sit down and have conversations with his dad about different elements of his baseball experience, and that's the unique thing about the sport of baseball. You can learn and have conversation and really gain some different things that maybe we wouldn't have before, as we're just busy moving along with our lives, trying to get things done and get to the next task. Anytime we can do something like this and take a step back to better understand how and why we're where we're at, it's certainly a good thing to be able to keep the history moving forward and people feel good about themselves.
And obviously, we know the color scheme of North Winn. Can you give us a little sneak preview of what the uniforms will look like tomorrow night?
Yeah, well, Major League Baseball has kind of went to the City Connect uniforms with some different pieces, and that can be a little bit of the brainchild of some of this. But we actually took Jason Tweeten shared with us his old jersey that he had, and we actually worked to be able to get a sublimated replica of that jersey. So we represented it as accurately as we possibly could, which is the traditional gold top with some different black trim. And then we add a little twist when it comes time for it. We've added black pants because that's one of the newer things for a color scheme when it comes time for it. And then we work with Letterworks to be able to get a replica hat, which basically is pretty much exactly the same as the hat that was worn on that end of things. So each of those guys, we will also have some of those hats on sale at the game on that of things, and we'll make a few different announcements. But Denise Goldrud's going to help us sell some of those hats, and Letterworks has been great to be able to get some extras made in that regard to still share that forward, as I know baseball and hats, and those of us who are baseball people are hat lovers at the same time, to be able to make that happen. So be pretty straightforward in terms of the look, but I'm sure when people, if they don't know what's going on and they drive by and they don't see, they see all the black and gold, they're going to be a little caught off guard with what's happening and occurring. But we hope to continue to have these uniforms. Some of the discussions that's happened is when we have a home game with any Upper Iowa Conference school, we would certainly look to continue to break those out and break these out in years to come, to kind of keep and make sure we continue to honor that, and our kids can know that there was multiple baseball teams now. Eventually, I don't know that we'll go to the extent where we'll actually wear the Nordness Town team uniform in that regard, but we certainly want to make sure that we're taking steps to honor the schools that did exist within our district.
Adam, give us the final who, what, where, and when, and why about North Winn Night at Olin-Sack Field tomorrow night.
Yep, we're 5 o'clock doubleheader with walk-on. We'll work to have a little bit of festivities before that 5 o'clock game starts, as part of just taking some time to be able to recognize on that end of things, and hopefully we'll put ourselves in position to win a couple ball games in that direction. And one thing I probably should add is we did get some names and the kids that are on the team. Everybody that's dressing wrote a card to a former North Winn player that we work to be able to send off here at the beginning of the week. So hopefully they're getting those. If they didn't get them yesterday, they'll get them today, about what it means to wear that, and knowing and understanding, and hopefully that they can share some of that pride as they wear it as they go along. So looking forward to a fun Friday night. We'll have softball going on as well, so should be lots of activity down at the baseball and softball fields. So. All
right, Adam, appreciate you taking the time and telling us about North Winn Night. Here's to a great end to the athletic academic year for Decorah High School activities.
Thanks, Darren.
Adam Riley, North Winn Night tomorrow night. Vikings wearing black and gold tomorrow night as they host walk-on in a conference doubleheader.
Coming up this Saturday, one of the fun events in our neck of the woods in the month of June, which is Dairy Month. It's Breakfast on the Farm at the Iowa Dairy Center, just south of the Northeast Iowa Community College campus. And the chair of the Iowa Dairy Center is Dave Lawstuen, and he joins us this morning. And Dave, how many years has this event been going?
Boy, I think, good morning, Darren. Thanks for having us. I believe we're now in our 10th year. and it seems to get bigger and bigger every year. And we're expecting a nice crowd on Saturday morning. So we hope everyone comes out. Starts your weekend off by enjoying a nutritious breakfast, some great dairy products, and just enjoy all the things that we'll have available.
And how much fun is it for you guys at the Iowa Dairy Center to welcome people and kind of show off what you do on a daily basis?
Oh, it is, absolutely. We look forward to it every year. The fact that not only can we show display or showcase what we do at the Dairy Center, we're really showcasing agriculture. We get to see the dairy farm in operation. The robotic industry is growing so fast, and as far as on the dairy side of things, and particularly Iowa's been an early adapter on the robotics. So a great chance to see that. A great chance to ride the trams, go through the facility, and I think the highlight every year of those trams as we take the public through is they're led by farmers. To get to meet farmers and hear from their point of view. And then I don't want to forget that we had the Beef Center there about 5 years ago, and doing great things, and it's a really nice way to illustrate and demonstrate to the consumer the modern cattle industry.
And what else is involved in the event coming up on Saturday morning?
And there's something for all ages, and so we invite from grandparents all the way down to your grandkids. Is there the kids really enjoy all the bouncy houses will be there. There's a corn pool that will be there. The petting zoo will be featuring 3 different breeds of calves. There we'll have a Holstein calf, a Jersey calf, and one of our Angus Holstein cross beef calves there on display. All kinds of events, and like I said, looking forward to good weather this Saturday morning, and then we're all hoping for rain in the afternoon.
And obviously, you get a good breakfast. You get to learn a few things. You get to have a little bit of fun on Saturday morning, and probably a lot of bit of fun. Can't ask for much more than that, can you?
No, it's always a great event, and it's like we mentioned earlier, the chance to showcase agriculture, but just to talk one-on-one with the farmers that do it every day. Meet our farm management staff; they'll all be there. The one thing I didn't mention is everyone have a chance to milk a cow, and we're doing something different here in the last couple of years. Is we're actually taking you into a parlor, so you get to experience what a modern parlor is while you're milking a cow. So we're all kinds of events, lots of fun, and just good to see people. And
what are the hours for the event coming up on Saturday?
Yeah, we start serving at 8:30, and we'll be done by noon. And so the serving line will be right there, right in front of the east side of the dairy center. Plenty of parking right on site, so just come on in. And the trams will be starting there right around that 9 o'clock. Once the first wave of folks enjoy their breakfast, and so look forward to seeing everybody.
Anything we're missing? Anything else about the event on Saturday, or anything else you're up to at the Iowa Dairy Center?
Well, yeah, I would mention too. One is it's there's no cost. We do accept free will donations there, and if you can't make it out this Saturday to the Dairy Center, we would encourage you to stop out for a tour. Our new coordinator, we're very excited that Brennan Connolly has joined us, and guided tours of this dairy center, the beef center, the calf barn's always a highlight. And typically, if like I said, if you can't make it Saturday, we like to do those tours around 1 o'clock. And all you need to contact us at the dairy center. We can get that tour lined up. The other opportunity the public will have is we keep calling him new. He's relatively new. He's been with us for a little while. And the college president, Dr. Herb Rydell, will be there. He'll be in the serving line, and you'll get a chance to greet the president of the college as well.
All right, Dave, we appreciate you taking the time. Have fun coming up on Saturday.
All right. Thanks, Darren. Appreciate it.
Dave Lawstuen from the Iowa Dairy Center. Breakfast on the farm at the Dairy Center coming up Saturday from 8:30 until noon.
Joining us now is Heather Homewood. She is with the Allamakee County Veterans Affairs Office, and we're going to talk about the important issue of PTSD. It is PTSD Awareness Month here in the month of June. And for those that, I think it's one of those things that we all think we know about, but describe what PTSD is, Heather.
So PTSD is generally, and I'm saying this because I'm not a medical provider, but from my position and how I deal with PTSD with veterans, and PTSD does not just affect veterans, but PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is a reaction to a traumatic event in somebody's life, whether it be a veteran and it was a traumatic event either in a combat zone. It can also occur in a non-combat zone, something that was scary or traumatic in training, such as a gun being fired off the wrong direction on the rifle range, or a grenade not going over the wall in training, or, people being caught out in a storm in training. It can definitely be military sexual trauma. There's a lot of things that could be threatening and scary to a person that are still bothering them, that they still have issues to resolve. And that can be that post-traumatic stress disorder. And it can also affect, our police, our law enforcement. It can affect first responders, firefighters, of course. It can affect medical providers too. So it can affect somebody, of the general public who is an abuse victim or a child of abuse. So post-traumatic stress disorder, and I really want to say our event is not just for veterans. It's also for veterans, it's for families of veterans, for neighbors of veterans, but it's also for those other individuals that I mentioned, whether it be first responders, law enforcement, medical staff, definitely family who want to learn how to support their person who has some PTSD, has some trauma issues. So we want to make sure that everybody knows that it's there for anybody.
And the event coming up on Saturday is an awareness walk. How important is it to have that conversation, knowing the fact that previous events could affect the mental well-being of those folks that went through those traumatic orders presently?
Well, we wouldn't. I mean, we think that it's very important to have the event itself, to bring light to the subject, to educate and inform people, and educate and inform them on how to help this individual, what resources are available to them. But we also, we don't want to bring up trauma with somebody. I mean, we don't want to, we surely don't want to cause the opposite effect and pry into something and cause any more issues with trauma. But we just want people to know that there is help out there. There's actually quite a few resources for people out there, and there are people there that are willing to listen to them, willing to help them, and find resources that are available for them. And so we want to have this walk, like many other types of walks, to bring awareness to it, and to let people know that the people that are walking care about them. So they're not alone in something. There's definitely people that are thinking about them, whether they're there with them or not, but people care about them and are thinking about them.
And before we get into the specifics of the walk coming up on Saturday, what resources do you provide at the Veterans Affairs Office in Allamakee County? What ways do you connect people that need help regarding PTSD? what options do they have by contacting your office?
Sure. So we do have some different crisis lines that we can give them to call. There is 1-800-273-8255. And that's for veterans or non-veterans. There is an option to push if an individual is a veteran specifically. And then there's the new 988 number. And people can call or text that 988 number. So it's very handy. And again, for veterans or non-veterans, and it's a crisis line. And we also help enroll people in VA healthcare. And through the VA, there is counseling. And the VA also now offers, if somebody cannot make it to counseling, they will offer the option of giving them a tablet. And the tablet is equipped with Wi-Fi, and they can attend telehealth appointments that way, whether it be through Decorah and the Iowa City system or the La Crosse Toma Madison system. There's also the vet center. There's a vet center in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and the vet centers provide strictly counseling, but there's one in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and there's also one out of Cedar Rapids. And the Cedar Rapids Vet Center has a mobile vet center that goes to West Union every Thursday. And the mobile vet center will be at our event. And they strictly provide counseling for combat veterans and military sexual trauma victims. And so usually through our office, we are helping enroll somebody in VA healthcare, helping them get those connections that they need if they're looking for any kind of counseling or mental health treatment at all, or any type of healthcare through the VA. But we also help them file disability claims too, if they're filing a disability claim for post-traumatic stress disorder or anything else through the Department of Veterans Affairs.
And let's get into the details of the walk coming up on Saturday, the PTSD Awareness Walk. Tell us what it will all entail. Give us the specific details of your event coming up on Saturday.
Sure. So our walk is going to start at the Freedom Rock in the Waukon City Park, and it's going to step off at 9 a.m. and it will walk down Rossville Road in Waukon to the four-way stop, to the stoplights, and up Allamakee Street to the front of the new Veterans Museum. So it will be, the Veterans Museum is at 105 Allamakee Street, so between the courthouse and the new museum. And it's 0.9 miles, mostly downhill. If individuals can't walk that, there will be a shuttle van, or they can just drive straight to the Veterans Museum to meet with some of the individuals that will be at tables there. So we're going to step off, walk down that main drag, and just kind of, you know, taking the day, I guess, and think of the cause. And when we do get up to the Veterans Museum, there will be a few tables with some individuals that are orientated around our post-traumatic stress disorder, mental health type of event. So we will have a table with the VA clinic in Decorah will be present. The Iowa City VA Hospital has an Office of Community Engagement and Partnership and Suicide Prevention. They will have a table. Veterans Memorial Hospital of Waukon will have a table. And Allamakee County Veterans Affairs, we will have a table, and we'll hand out bags with some different information. And there's going to be a lot of giveaway type of items on these tables too. A lot of information, brochures, that kind of stuff. The vet center, the mobile vet center, will come, and they're going to bring their mobile RV, and they'll have that set up, which is what they do a lot of their counseling in. And they will not be counseling that day, but they'll make the connections that they need to make with individuals, and they'll be able to have a little bit of time to talk with people. They won't be counseling at the event, but they'll make those connections if somebody does need counseling with them after the event. We will have water, coffee, cookies, donuts, just some small snacks, some water beforehand too if individuals need water. And like I said, we will have that shuttle van if people can't walk, or they're walking and they just can't make the whole walk. Again, I just wanted to stress too that this walk is not just for veterans. It's for anybody, law enforcement, first responders, medical personnel, abuse victims, friends, family, and of people who are affected. So
is this something folks need to sign up for, or is it a case of just show up on Saturday morning?
Yep. This is our first year for this, so we're not going to have people sign up for it. They will just show up. They will get a button that says, I walked in support of PTSD awareness. Next year, we might do some shirts that people can order ahead of time. But this year, we're just going to do some buttons so people can just show up for the event. So no, there is, and I guess we did have a flyer that came out. There is a link on that flyer that the federal VA put out that a person can print off a walk bib, they call it, but what it is it's kind of a it was kind of a kind of like one of them race tags or something like that for a shirt, and it says something about PTSD awareness. It was a little bit big and cumbersome, I thought, for a shirt, so we're just doing these buttons. But if a person wanted, they can print one of those out too.
All right, Heather, anything else you want to pass on about the event coming up on Saturday, or anything else that your office wants to make the public aware of at this time?
Not necessarily about the event, although we are very excited for it to be coming up. Excited for just the possibilities to connect with some more individuals and get some more information out. I did want to bring some awareness to the fact that, you know, there's been a lot of law changes too with the VA. There's been some new presumptive disabilities for Vietnam veterans, things that might be related to Agent Orange exposure. And I would stress that anybody from any county talk to their county Veterans Service Office, because there have been changes for Vietnam veterans. Also, some of the locations that have been added for Agent Orange exposure, not just in Vietnam, there's been some Thailand and other areas. So I would like people just to double check with their county offices. And the other thing is with the burn pit exposure for some of the Gulf War veterans, or toxic exposure for any veterans of any era, to stop in and talk to your office, your local office, if you have any concerns, any medical issues that are bothering you that you think might be related to service, to follow up for disability claim or any VA healthcare benefits they might be eligible for.
Heather, we appreciate your time taking us through the event coming up this weekend, and we also appreciate all you and your office does for the veterans in Allamakee County and beyond. Thanks for the time, and best of luck with the PTSD event coming up this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Heather Homewood from the Allamakee County Veterans Affairs Office. The PTSD Awareness Walk begins at 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Coming up this Saturday, an open house will be taking place at Spectrum in Decorah. And Mike Meirick is with us to tell us about all of the events coming up on Saturday. Mike, always a pleasure to talk to you. Tell us about the open house coming up this weekend.
Good morning, Darren. We're really excited about this Saturday on the 24th. From 11 to 1 o'clock, we're going to feature the 5 nonprofits that are all in our footprint at Spectrum. We have Northeast Iowa Area on Aging. We have Toys Go Round. We have the Decorah Community Food Pantry, the Iowa Food Hub, and Spectrum Industries. So all of those different nonprofits are going to spend that couple hours showing off and talking to the folks in our community and telling what we do.
And I think that's an important thing to show off, because obviously everyone knows about the good work Spectrum Industries does, but I don't know how many people realize how many entities are in your facility. Yeah,
we've spent the last several years putting this together, and it really is rewarding to have all of those nonprofits flourishing. There's a common thread through all of them. I think we utilize adults with special needs in different areas. For instance, at Toys Go Round, they hire our adults with special needs to clean their toys before they're put on the shelves. At the Iowa Food Hub, or Decorah Community Food Pantry, they hire our people to help put things in different bags. So if they get a gross of diapers and they want to break them down into units of 10 or whatever it might be, in the past, we've helped them do those things. Also utilizing our kitchen, we have adults with special needs that help prepare and packaged food. We do about 20,000 meals a year for senior citizens in Northeast Iowa. So we're a busy little place.
And so much good happens in one building. That has to be so rewarding for everybody that comes to work in your building every day.
It is. It's just a really fun work environment, and our employees, I can tell you, they're not here for the money. When you're working in a nonprofit and you're funded by state, local, and federal government, it's thin. But we have people here who have a big heart, and they make a difference in people's lives every single day.
And what will all be taking place between 11 and 1? People that show up on Saturday, what can they see going on?
Well, it won't be check days, I guarantee you that. But it will be a really cool environment. KVIK will be here with their summer giveaway. We'll have walking tacos served up for free in our kitchen. We'll have some door prizes. So it's something called a passport. If you walk around to each of the nonprofits and get a stamp on a recipe card, you'll be able to throw it in a barrel, and we'll draw out some drawings at the end of the day so people can pick up a couple take me home items. But all in all, it should be just a couple hours of good fun, some music, and just introducing our nonprofits to the people of our community.
And how important is it to create that awareness of what's going on?
Well, I've been involved with Spectrum for about 5 years, and I didn't know much about Spectrum. And unfortunately, that's typical of the people in the community. Spectrum started their 50th year this year in helping adults with special needs. And we're still a secret in Decorah. And we're trying to uncover that secret and let everybody know what we do with job coaching, job development, day hab services, and supportive community living services that happen every day. We change the lives of about 51 adults with special needs hour by hour in Decorah and in the community, from New Hampton to Waukon and from Cresco to West Union. So we have a fairly good footprint that we help people.
Anything we're missing? Anything else you want to pass on about the event this Saturday, or anything else going on with Spectrum?
Well, Spectrum, every day we do different things that are exciting here. We do a lot of artwork. We go bowling. We go to parks and have lunches. We go on rock walks. So those things are always fun. It takes a lot of dollars to get this done. And we hope people recognize if they've been blessed in the last year or last few years, maybe with a sale of a business or some really good financial times, think about helping us out a little bit. We could sure use it. But we want you to come Saturday. We want you to see what we've done. We're very, very proud of what we've done here, and we hope it can continue for another 50 years.
All right, Mike, we appreciate you taking a few moments to talk to us about the Spectrum Open House coming up this Saturday. Congrats on everything you guys do to make this community a better place in that building, and look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Thank you. It's a privilege talking to you.
Mike Meirick from Spectrum, the open house at Spectrum coming up Saturday from 11 until 1. A thank you to the guest on the program this morning, Decorah High School baseball coach Adam Riley. Adam told us about the plans to honor North Winn by wearing the black and gold jerseys tomorrow night as Decorah hosts walk-on in baseball. Dave Lawstuen from the Iowa Dairy Center, breakfast on the farm coming up Saturday morning. Also a big part of the fun of June Dairy Month in our neck of the woods. A PTSD awareness walk taking place Saturday morning in Waukon. Heard about that with Heather Homewood from the Allamakee County Veterans Affairs Office. And I want to thank Mike Meirick telling us about the Spectrum Open House coming up on Saturday as well. Don't forget, each and every week we put these shows on YouTube. We realize you're busy people. Sometimes you can't always be near a radio or near a streaming device at 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning, but we feel we get to talk to some pretty interesting people. And because of that, we provide the shows on YouTube. If you're out looking up cat videos or old TV classics or old sports highlights or what have you on YouTube, just go 6-22 Our Town program. That's the best way to get it. We also put these links up on all of our Facebook pages from the LA communication stations. Thanks to our sponsor, Decorah Bank and Trust. A thank you to our guest. And most importantly, we thank you. That's right, you, for tuning in, for logging on, or for watching Our Town on 94.9 and 99.1 The River.